que sea muy difícil de explicar, porque el rival ha sido superior a nosotros desde el inicio, prácticamente en las primeras acciones, nos ha superado en la presión, no hemos podido salir de esa presión, nos ha generado peligro, ha sido mejor con y sin el balón y ha sido una noche en la que claramente hemos sido inferiores. Esa es la lectura de lo que yo hago del partido.
It was a night that would forever be etched in football history. For one man, it was the ultimate stage to write his name into legend. The Camp Nou was alive with electricity, a sea of banners waving, chants echoing through the stands. Every eye in the footballing world was fixed on one question. Could Barcelona overturn the impossible? 90 minutes, a 4-goal deficit from the Parc des Princes to overcome. Most had written Barcelona off before the first whistle. Most believed the dream was over. But Neymar wasn't here merely to play. He was here to lead, to inspire, to ignite hope where despair had settled. His pride, his career, and the hopes of Barcelona were all on the line. Could he rise to the occasion, delivering a comeback for the ages? Or would history remember this as a crushing defeat? Quick flashes of PSG celebrating their 4-0 first leg win contrasted with Barcelona determined faces, a nightmare still fresh in everyone's minds. Barcelona had travelled to the Parc des Princes, carrying dreams, expectations, and the weight of an entire city. But what unfolded was nothing short of a nightmare. PSG did relentless and ruthless, dismantled Barcelona piece by piece. Every defensive lapse was punished. By the final whistle, Barcelona had suffered a humiliating 4-0 defeat. The squad was stunned. The fans were shocked. For Neymar, the weight of expectation was almost unbearable. The dream of European glory suddenly seemed distant, almost impossible. Critics whispered, "This is over. The comeback is impossible." Yet in Neymar's heart, a spark remained.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to score for it. I mean, you never say never with Barcelona.
The fire, the ambition, the belief. It was all waiting for the next chapter, and that chapter would unfold at the Camp Nou. The second leg arrived. The stadium was a cauldron of noise, every flag waving, every chant resonating. Barcelona needed more than tactics, they needed belief. Every player had to be at their peak, physically and mentally. Luis Enrique knew this wasn't just a match, it was a battle of willpower. High-intensity pressing, rapid ball circulation, exploiting wide channels, and ensuring Neymar received the ball in pockets of space. These were the keys. Overlapping fullbacks, constant movement from the front three, quick switches, every detail meticulously planned. Luis Enrique, Barcelona's coach, was equally aware of the stakes. His plan was simple yet effective. Absorb PSG's pressure, defend with discipline, and strike on the counter with Messi and Suarez. PSG didn't need to attack. They needed only to protect their lead. Patience was their weapon. One lapse could undo the 4-goal advantage they carried from Paris. From the first whistle, the battle lines were drawn. Barcelona attacked with urgency. Neymar became the spark, the engine, the leader. Every run, every dribble, every touch carried the weight of the impossible. Emery relied on width. Draxler and Lucas Moura stretched Barcelona's defense, creating spaces for Cavani. But Barcelona crowded the middle, daring PSG to attempt long shots. Every duel, every header, every pass was a psychological test as much as a physical one. Barcelona reminded everyone that the comeback had begun. Suarez opened the scoring in the third minute. PSG's dream seemed immediately at risk. Just before halftime, Kurzawa inadvertently turned the ball into his own net. Barcelona players felt the fire of belief growing stronger with every goal. PSG players felt the fear creeping in. The weight of the moment shifted. The Camp Nou was trembling with noise. Every pass, every tackle carried the pulse of destiny. Fans of Barcelona could hardly sit still. PSG could hardly breathe. Early in the second half, a foul on Neymar earned a penalty, calmly converted by Messi. The aggregate still favoured Barcelona.
And it's a cracker of a penalty! And Barca...
Then, Cavani struck for PSG. The stadium fell silent in shock. Barcelona's dominance began to crumble. Their faces, once confident, now flashed panic. PSG's chances surged. It wasn't just a goal, it was a psychological earthquake. Barcelona, which had strutted confidently in the first leg, now seemed human, vulnerable. Fans, previously singing and waving flags, sat stunned, realizing the fortress was cracking. Neymar felt it. The shift in energy, the momentum tilting. One thought burned in his mind. The impossible is now possible. With 10 minutes remaining, the weight of history pressed down. A foul on the edge of the box gave Neymar a free kick. The stadium held its breath. Every step, every glance at the goal carried the tension of an entire city. Neymar curled a shot around the wall into the top corner. Camp Nou erupted. The impossible had shrunk. The aggregate now just 2 goals. PSG's defensive line stumbled. Their confidence, once unshakable, began to waver. Fans who had celebrated minutes before watched a miracle unfold.
What a goal by Neymar! What a beautiful free kick!
He was no longer just a player, he was the heartbeat of the team. Barely minutes later, fouled inside the box, the whistle blew. A penalty. The stadium exploded with anticipation and dread. Neymar calmly struck, the net bulging, aggregate tied, history bending to his will. PSG's defensive line faltered completely. The fans' anxiety spiked. They could feel the tide turning. Neymar's teammates surrounded him, disbelief and exhilaration intertwining. He wasn't chasing destiny anymore, he was creating it. In the dying moments, Barcelona needed one final push. Neymar took the ball in midfield, eyes scanning. He floated a perfectly weighted pass to Sergi Roberto, who smashed it home. 6-1, the impossible was achieved. The magnitude of the moment was colossal. Players collapsed in joy, fans screamed themselves hoarse, and Neymar fell to his knees, arms raised, tears mixing with sweat. PSG's first leg dominance had been obliterated in the final minutes. Neymar wasn't just a star, he was the GOAT of the night.
Porque hicimos historia, es un partido difícil de remontar dentro de un equipo que tiene mucha calidad, que es el París. Pero si había un equipo que podía remontar partido como este, es Barcelona, y nosotros sabíamos eso. Creíamos en nuestra calidad, bueno, ponemos en el juego y ahora hay que celebrar.
It wasn't just a win, it was a rebirth. Barcelona players collapsed to the ground, tears mixing with sweat, hearts racing from the magnitude of what they had achieved. The disbelief that had haunted them after the first leg transformed into euphoria, unity, and unshakable faith. PSG players, once confident and composed, now stood frozen in disbelief. Their dominance shattered, not just on the scoreboard, but in their minds. Every hesitation, every misjudged clearance, every moment of doubt had culminated in psychological collapse. For Neymar, the moment transcended sport.
Para ti, personalmente, ¿es uno de los mejores partidos en que jugaste?
Sí, para mí es el mejor partido que he jugado en mi vida.
His teammates surrounded him, shouting, crying, embracing, living proof that one man's fire can reignite an entire team. The Camp Nou erupted in a cathartic roar. Fans screamed, jumped, waved flags, chanting Neymar's name with a fervor that shook the night sky. The stadium wasn't just alive, it was reborn. Every chant, every tear, every heartbeat echoed one truth: the impossible had been made real. Barcelona had transcended expectation. PSG had been unseated mentally and physically by a team that refused to give up.
Este deporte es un deporte de chiflaos, claramente. Es un deporte único. El que haya vivido, no me quiero imaginar a cualquier niño hoy en el Camp Nou, no olvidará esta noche en su vida. No la olvidará ningún adulto culé, evidentemente.
And Neymar, he had become the embodiment of courage and destiny, a living symbol that miracles are born from resilience and relentless faith.